Nothing behind your head, because we're going to start with pelvic tilts. So you don't want to put any strain on your neck. Find a nice comfortable position. Two little front aces bones sticking up to the ceiling, knees to the ceiling, feet and legs hip width apart, shoulders wide, relaxed onto the mat. Couple of breaths just to center yourselves and feel everything slot into its natural place. And as you lengthen and widen the breath, on your next out breath, tummy button draws in extra strong to just tilt the pubic bone towards you, soften the back into the floor, and breathing in to reset. So keeping the shoulders relaxed, every out breath just softening the lower back into the mat as you curl the pubic bone towards you. Keep it nice and small for a couple more. That's it, and then gradually increase the curl so you're peeling your bottom off the mat. Hold for a count and then peel back down again. Couple more at that level and gradually working up your spine. All times as you're peeling off, really think about curling the pubic bone in towards your chest to keep as much of a curve in your back as possible throughout the whole exercise. Remembering to just soften the shoulders. Breathing into the back and sides of your ribs to fully inflate your lungs. And this time take it up to bra strap level. Hold it at the top, breathing in, breathing out, soften through the front of the body to place the spine back on the ground, piece by piece by piece. And we'll keep the arms down by our sides for the moment. Do two more of these, peeling off, keeping that pelvic curl at the bottom and at the top, breathing in to hold, breathing out, softening, thinking upper back first, middle back, then lower back, but really the front of the body sinking through to the mat. Final time, breathing out, curling up. Shoulders nice and relaxed as you breathe in and breathe out. Soften through the chest, placing yourself down. Then center yourself up again. So again, hip bones up to the ceiling, and we'll take our arms, crossing them over our chest or just above the chest, depends how much chest you have. My pancakes don't get in the way, and reaching the hands and the fingers towards the mat on either side. So you're really getting a lovely stretch in the shoulder. If it's too much, if there's any pain in the shoulder, just bring the arms off the floor or a little bit closer together. Open into a T and then cross the other way. And again, very simple movement, but notice if one way is slightly tighter than the other. Try to keep the back of the shoulders on the mat. It's a bit of a challenge for me, but I'm trying. And again, open into a T and cross the other arms the other way. And allow the back of the shoulders to sink into the mat. And I've also just re-engaged my tummy button into the body. And breathe through that, open to the side. And one more, crossing over. A lovely hug or a stretch, keeping the back of the shoulders down. And then arms back by your sides, and we're back onto the pelvis area. So from here, we're going to imagine we're making little circles with our tummy button and just going round into a tilt. And gradually increase that, like 10 in each direction. So having a little pelvic tilt one end, and then the other end, you're sinking your tailbone into the mat. Little pelvic clocks. So just keep going in one direction until you've done about 10. And then center yourselves up. And do the other way. All the time, thinking the shoulders nice and relaxed on the mat. Still drawing the tummy button into the spine to try and control things. Trying to keep your knees as much as possible in line and up to the ceiling. So everything's working through the pelvis area. Might be tiny, but you're keeping your legs as still as possible. So micromanaging all the muscles in the pelvis. That's it. That's good. And you probably find it gets easier the more you do. Because it's bizarrely, I think, quite challenging to get that movement working. Then when you've done, give me a thumbs up so I know which of you's finished. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, now the one that always challenges me is my windmill arms. I can never get it. So people know what I'm talking about. Arms up to the ceiling, palms facing away from you. Reach to the ceiling and then just draw the shoulder blades so you're back onto the mat. I'm going to say take your right arm behind your head, left arm by your side. So your right palm is facing the ceiling, the left palm is facing the floor. Take your arms out into a T, so you've just done half a circle. Flip the palms over, so your left palm is facing the ceiling, right palm to the floor. Continue the circle, so your left arm is behind your head. Bring the arms back to the ceiling. And then take the left arm behind your head, right arm by your side. Out into a T. Flip the palms over, continue the circle, so right arm is behind your head, palm facing the ceiling, left palm to the floor, and then back. And again, reverse direction, right arm behind you, round into a circle, flip over, continue the circle, left arm behind your head, come back to the start, and continue. So you're trying to keep the arms straight and keep them as close to the floor as you can control. You're getting rotation through the joints. If there's any pain in the shoulders, make the movement a little bit smaller, or don't take the arms so close to the floor. And really think about the back of the shoulders close onto the mat. That's it. Circling round. Rest of the body nice and still and stable. Reversing the direction. One more time. That's it, lovely. And when you finish this one, arms back down by your sides. And if you want anything behind your head, it should be nice and safe now. Just to make things a little bit more comfy, we'll back to the pelvis area and we'll do your hip release. So hands loosely by your sides. Going to just, with control, drop one knee out towards the floor, extend the leg away from you, rotate it back to parallel and then draw it in using your tummy button to spine. And I have 5 in this direction. All the time thinking shoulders on the floor. The non-working leg is stable. There'll be a little bit of wobble, but you're trying to keep it rock solid, knee up to the ceiling. And as the leg extends away from you, you should be straight away, not going out on a diagonal. So knee out to the side, lengthen the leg away, turn the knee back to the ceiling, and then draw it in. And when you've done 5 in this direction, you start by lengthening the leg away. And then turning the knee out to the side, drawing it back in. So you keep your legs straight away from you. Just think about rotating in the hip before pulling the knee back in. All the time, tummy button to spine action, shoulders nice and wide. That's better, Jackie. So extend the leg away, turn out in the hip, so the knee's away from you. Draw the foot back in towards the body, and then knee to the ceiling. That's it. That's it, Elaine. Just slow it down a little bit. You have to work harder to control everything when it's slow. So really getting that micromanagement of muscles. So when you've done 5 in each direction on that first leg, change to the other side. And again, notice when you do whether it's easier or harder to control, and whether the non-working hip is dipped or lifted, and try to recenter yourselves if it has. All the time breathing wide and full into the back. Keeping the body as still as possible. So use that drawing a tummy button into the body to help keep everything nice and stable and allowing yourself to breathe. And then when you've done 5 with the knee going out to the side first, extend the leg away from you, rotate the leg in the hip joint, draw the foot back into the body and then bring the knee back towards the ceiling. Good. That's it. So rotating out, drawing it back. And again, when you finish, give me a thumbs up. Good. Fab. Okay. So putting both arm and legs together with our arm and leg slides, arms up to the ceiling, palms facing away from you, and extend one arm behind your head and extend the opposite leg away. All the time, tummy button spine, breathing out to come back to center. Trying to keep the arm as straight as possible. Trying to get it to reach the floor if you can. And I don't mind if you're hovering the leg off the floor, as long as you're controlling that with your abs and you're not putting any strain on your back. So breathing in to extend, breathing out to use the abs to bring everything back to center. So gorgeous control. So that's it. That's it, Elaine. Good. Elaine, you can take the other arm by your side if you want to, rather than keeping it in the air. It's your choice. That's it. Breathing out, draw the legs back in. That's good. One more on each side. And then when you've done, arms back to the ceiling, palms facing away from you, shoulders down so you can feel the mat. We're going to nod the head, slide the leg away, arms come up, so we're coming into a little curl up, and then breathing in to take it down. Breathing out, extend and curl forward, keeping the chin nodded, thinking about the ribs sliding down to meet the pelvis. And as always, if you find this uncomfortable, hand behind the head, but press the head into the hand. So you're not pulling on your neck. Or if you want both hands behind the head, do. That's looking lovely and strong. Good. Lovely, Elaine. Good, good. Remember to breathe out, really make some noise because I can't hear you, and it'll really help activate those deep abs. Keep breathing. Breathing out, curling up. Breathing in, relaxing back. Good. 2 more. And then after your last one, again, as long as you're happy with your head, palms together, knees and feet stay as they are, and we'll do our obliques. So breathing out, you rotate to one side, curl up. So keep both bum cheeks on the floor. Breathing in to come back down. And then over to the other side, roll over, curling up as you breathe out, keeping those hip bones facing the ceiling. So rotating to each side. But again, if it's too much on your head or your neck, hands behind head, but press the head into the hands. And just keep the rotation small, Jackie. Breathing out, Elaine, that's it. Keeping both back of the pelvis on the mat as you rotate and curl up, so you don't have to come too high. Good. That's it, lovely. Hopefully you're starting to feel it. Good. I'll have 2 more on each side because these are so good for us, however hideous they are. Nice and slow, so it shouldn't be causing any damage. That's it. 1 more set. Final time, think rotating first, then curling up, sliding the ribs down, and then lie back and hug your knees in. And actually hold underneath the knees. So you're not putting any pressure on those knees. And we'll do single leg stretch, but lying down just as a stretch really. So just hug one knee in and lengthen the other leg away, stretch it out, and then change. So you should feel a little bit of extension in the front of the hip. Still draw the tummy button into the spine. Allow the shoulders to be heavy and loose on your back. And when I say the shoulders, the big scapula, as much as the upper shoulder away from the ears. And just nice and slowly changing legs. Nothing too hideous right now. Couple more. So this is a lovely one from loosening the back. Excuse me. One more set. And then hug the knees in. This time, hold onto the shins, draw the legs into the body as much as you can, and nod the chin, curl forward, press your shins away so you're in your little curl up position. And we'll do double leg stretch, but stay up here. So pin yourself to the mat through your tummy button, extend your arms and legs out on a diagonal, holding it here. Just keep breathing. Breathing out to extend, breathing in to curl in. All the time thinking down through the tummy button. Your legs don't have to go too close to the floor. Sort of think a little V shape. So there's no or minimal strain on the back. That's it. That's it, lovely. Good, Elaine. That's it, Jackie, brilliant. Two more. Final one. Good, then lie back, hug the knees in again, holding the shins. Have a couple of breaths in this position just to loosen off again and relax. And then again, nod the chin, curl forward, press the shins away to help bring you up into a little turtle shape. Legs into tabletop, and then we'll do a single leg stretch for proper. So extending one leg away, all the time again, anchoring through the tummy button to keep your lower back into the mat. And change, and change, and change. That's it, nice and steady. Think about stretching the lower leg. And 5, and 4. Keep the chins nodded. 3, and 2. And final set. And then hug your knees in again. You're going to step it up. And this time, arms to the ceiling, legs back in tabletop. And you're going to curl up and extend the legs away. And then curl back down, bring them back in. So knees about 90 degrees to start with. Feet slightly lower than the knees in the air. Extending away. And coming back down. So breathing out to extend and curl up. Breathing in to lie back down again. And you're thinking oranges under armpit, back of the arm, doing the work. Tummy button, nailing your back to the mat. That's it. Breathing out to come up. Good. That's it. Good, good, good. 2 more. And then hug your knees in for a breather. Brilliant. So from there, You obviously know from that position, that's our main 100 position. We're going to try and do, I'll do 50 rather than 100. So if you want to start with hands on the shins, just to help press you, curl you up into your little turtle, extend the arms and legs, and we will breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, good. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hug your knees in. Brilliant. Hey, big step up. So the 100, that's the main positioning for the full exercise. Obviously, we do another 50 to do the full thing. Let's loosen off a little bit. We'll do some nice leg circles. So either knees bent or up to the ceiling and draw 10 lovely circles in the hip joint, or if you want to have long legs, make sure they're long and straight and the body is stable on the mat. But use it as a nice loosening. So Elaine, you can have your other foot on the floor. That's not working, that's it. Jackie, just nod your chin a little bit more so you're not straining the neck, that's it. So 10 in each direction, nice and slow. Brilliant. And look, both of you looking really stable. It's so hard to get on this one. That's it. Remember to relax the shoulders, allow the body just to be just working the leg in the hip joint. And then when you've done 10 in each direction, have a moment, then change legs. And again, notice if one side is easier than the other, if there are any creaks and crunches. If you feel a little bit more unstable, make the movement smaller. Still engaging the abs through the tummy button. Make sure the back is being kept safe. Shoulders nice and wide and as relaxed as possible. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And when you've done, just bend your knees up. Keep those ribs down, Jackie. Tummy button through. Fab. Okay, we'll roll over onto your sides. We'll get back to our rotation, but in a nice stretchy way. So use the edge of your mat as a guide to bring your knees bent up and your shins in line with that. Both arms nice and straight out in front of you. So try not to crunch the microphone and think about the underneath shoulder being dragged away from the ear. I really would recommend having a cushion or something under your head for this. And when you're ready, still thinking the underneath waist drawing up, length through the top of your body. Going to take the arm up to the ceiling, rotate the ribs and watch the ribs and the shoulder go, and the arm will go where the ribs and the shoulder goes, so it doesn't have to reach the floor, it's just wherever it ends up. Breathing, and then on the next out breath, use the tummy button spine to bring you back to the start. So we're trying to have a nice stretch as much as keeping control of our upper body. The lower half is nice and stable. And you're allowing yourself to breathe wide and full Jackie, can you bend your knees up a little bit more? That's it. That's it, Elaine, lovely. Good. So breathing in to open and rotate. Breathing out just to soften, and nice breath in the held position. And then on the next out breath, tummy button spine to rotate back. Do one more. And then when you've done, we'll extend the arm and legs away. So we'll do a double leg lift. And make sure you've got that engagement through the underneath waist. Again, the underneath shoulder is pulling away from the ears. And as you breathe out, lifting both legs, hovering the head, looking at the floor, and breathing in to place yourself down. So you're trying not to rock forward or back. You're on that really uncomfortable bit of your hip. And if you think about the legs drawing into the pelvis as you lift, and lengthening away as you place yourself down, that might help give you a little bit of extra feeling of stability. Although I know you're both good at this one. That's it, good adjustment with the head, Elaine. Lovely, Jackie. Good. It doesn't look like you've got your legs going behind you today, which is brilliant, but just double check yourself. If you're lifting and you're feeling any pinching in the lower back, bring the legs slightly further forward. Good. And think about the underneath leg doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Getting there, those muscles working hard. And I think we've got two more. And then we will lift both legs, lift the top leg higher, put the top leg down and put both legs down and head down if you've lifted your head. So lifting both legs, hovering, top leg lifts even higher, comes back down, and down again. So lift the top leg, hovering the underneath leg, top leg down, both legs down. Good. That's it. And it doesn't have to go really high with the top leg. So again, we try not to hitch into the body as we do that. We're lengthening away and stretching and lifting, keeping control. If it's causing pain, Jackie, don't do it. Oh, walk it off. That's hideous. Two more, Elaine. Get the prize for last man standing. One more. Good, and then we'll do the underneath leg on its own. So lifting the top leg to hip height, stretch it away so you've got some length through that top hip, and then inner thigh, and your head can stay down for this, just lifting and lowering the underneath leg. Foot doesn't do anything, it just stays where it is. If you want a hand in front for balance, that's fine. Or more challenge, find that hovering position. That's it, Elaine, good. Keep engaged, tummy button to spine, shoulders relaxed. Where is it? Is it in your inner thigh, the front? Yeah, I think the one you were doing, if you hold on to the sofa for balance and stretch out that way. And then relax, Elaine, for 2 seconds. We'll move on to the shell. So bring your knees bent up again. Heels in line with the middle of your bum. And we will do 10 opening of the knee, keeping the feet together. And again, if you need just a little bit of a guide to make sure you're not rocking the body back, just have the arm behind you. I don't know whether it's psychological or physical, but it definitely stops me from opening too far. That's it. Again, keeping the tummy button engaged, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as possible. 2 more. Final one. And then we can't finish on our sides without the side plank that we were working on before the break. So come to sitting, cross the top leg over the underneath leg. And you can either stay down on your forearm, or if you're going to come up onto your hand and arm, make sure you're lifting from underneath. And either come up onto your knees using that hoisting think, or come up onto your side. And again, just looking slightly towards the floor and then coming back down again. That's it, Jackie, good. So if you're coming up onto your hand and long arm, thinking lengthening your body away up and over that shoulder and arm to the ceiling. Yay, brilliant. And back down. Remember to keep breathing. We'll do 2 more to make it a round number of 4. Squeeze the legs together, thinking orange under the armpit. And then coming back down. Final time, if you can. Breathing out, squeeze the legs together, underneath waist, drawing up. And then coming down. Ooh, fab, fab, fab. Scoot yourselves over the other way. All of our lovely side work. So starting with our gorgeous chest release. So knees bent up in line, shins in line with the front of your mat, underneath arm, drawing away from the head, lengthening the neck, lengthening the top of the body. Breathing in, take the arm to the ceiling. Breathing out, rotate the ribs, take the shoulder behind you, keeping the knees where they started. Breathing at this point, and then on the next out breath, tummy button drawing in, pulls the obliques, pulls the ribs around. Ready to go again. And like I said, on the other side, the arm doesn't have to go anywhere near the floor. You're trying to control it so it's staying where the shoulder placement is and where the ribs are. It's all about opening the chest and using the breath. So breathing in to start the rotation, breathing out just to soften and hold in your open position without pulling the shoulder and the arm to the floor, holding and hovering it there. Breathing in and then breathing out, drawing the ribs back. That's it. Have 2 more of these. And remember, the pelvis and knees stay stable and together. Good. Final time. Looks like you've cracked this. Brilliant. And then extend arms and legs away. So in your double leg lift position, thinking about underneath waist, drawing up, making sure you're not too far back or too far forward. So you're on the bony part of your hip. Breathing out, lifting and breathing in, placing yourself down. And again, if you feel any pinching in your lower back, just angle your legs slightly further forward. That's it. Lovely. Breathing out to lift, and again, thinking about the underneath leg, doing a lot of that work. Wonderful. Good. Still thinking tummy button to spine and underneath waist, drawing away from the mat. And you're coming up into a long side hover arrow position rather than a banana. Good. 2 more. And then from there we lift and hover, then extend and lengthen the top leg away a bit higher, place it back down and both legs down. So breathing out, lift and hover, extend and lift one top leg, and place it down, both legs down. Very nice. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, lift the top leg. Breathing out, place it down. Breathing in, place yourself down. And again, breathing out, hover and lift both legs. Top leg extends further. Places down. And both legs down. Got 3 more. Breathing out and lift. Top leg up. Top leg down. Both legs down. Final 2. Good. Final 1. Lift and hover. Extend the top leg. Place the top leg down. Both legs down. Wonderful. So then lift the top leg up, lengthening the waist, stretch it away from you, and then squeeze the inner thigh of the underneath leg to lift and lower. Tummy button to spine still. Try not to rock forward and back. So again, hand in front for balance if you need it. That's it, good. Make sure your feet aren't involved, allow them to relax. All happening in an inner thigh. Two more. And then bend your knees up, ready for the shell. So heels in line with the middle of the bum. Again, hand behind is always helpful, I think. Breathing out and breathing in to close. So again, shoulders nice and relaxed. You've got that engagement through the abs and through drawing up through the waist away from the mat. So breathing out to open, breathing in to close. Have 3 more. Keeping the feet together. Final time. Then cross the top leg over the underneath leg. Extend the legs away ever so slightly. Come up onto your forearm if you want, or long arm. Ready for 4 side planks this way. So shoulder away from the ears, nice space, underneath waist engaged, and breathing out, coming up. And breathing in, come back down without crunching and clunking. That's it, good. Lovely. And again, we'll try and get that diagonal line with the body. That's it. Wonderful. Final time. Breathing out. Lift. And down. Brilliant. That's all looking so much better. Let's roll over onto our fronts. So again, cushion or block under your forehead. We'll do the arrow to get some nice back extension. So extend the legs. Make sure your legs are in parallel, slightly separated. You want a slight squeeze at the bottom. Allow your shoulders just to fall forward into the mat. And then you breathe in to lift them away from the mat. Breathe out, slide the scapula down, hover the arms, reach for the toes. So again, you're not coming up too high. Breathing in, rotate the arms so thumbs turn to the ceiling. And breathing out, place yourself down. So breathing in, lift the shoulders. Breathe out, slide them down your back. That action lifts you up ever so slightly. Rotate as you breathe in, so thumbs to the ceiling. And breathe out, placing yourself down. And keep going. Breathing in to lift the shoulders. Breathing out, hover the arms or reach fingers for toes. Keep the chin nodded, Jackie. So it's crown of the head reaching away at all times. That's it. So your legs stay glued to the mat. Pelvis stays glued to the mat. It's just that upper back area being lifted by the shoulder blades sliding down your back. That's it. Good. We'll do one more. So breathing in, lift the shoulders, breathe out, slide them down to hover the arms. Breathing in, rotate thumbs to the ceiling. Gorgeous. And relax back down. If you're happy to, we'll work on our hamstrings by you doing our swimming. So let's circle the arms around in front of us. So they're reaching away on a diagonal. Separate your legs ever so slightly more. Squeeze your bum to lift your legs. Think sliding your shoulder blades down to hover the front of your body. If you're happy here, then tapping down, thinking from underneath the bum, lengthening the legs away. So opposite arm and leg, tapping down with control. If you want to get faster and faster and faster, so full swimming, trying to keep the body as stable as possible. If it's too much on your back, just stay flat on the floor and lift one arm and leg. That's it, Jackie. Keep the legs straight, so no bending of the knees. And I count for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Sit back into a nice child pose. So nice wide knees. Aim your bum to your heels. Stretch out the back. Couple of breaths there. Then come onto your hands and knees. And we'll use the dog and the cat as a little bit of warming down and a thread the needle. So have a check where your feet are. They should be in line behind your knees, back in a nice flat position. So think sinking the shoulder blades into a little bit. So almost as if you're trying to get them to touch together, and then just loosen off and breathe. And from there, extending an arm and leg away. You can keep on the floor or lift if you're happy that you're not dipping in the pelvis. So breathing out to extend, and that drawing in through the tummy button, creating action in the pelvic floor and the abs. We'll keep everything nice and secure. That's it. Nice, Jackie. That's it, Elaine. That looks nice. Good. One more on each side. And then from there, so keeping in this nice quadruped position, take your right arm out to the side. Then you're going to thread it underneath the left arm, aiming to reach the shoulder to the ground if you can. If you can't, just take it where you can. And unpeel. And rotate to look to the ceiling a little bit. Not too much, depends on how your back will tolerate it. So you're threading the needle through, rotating one way, drawing the arm back out to the side, then think rotating the chest ever so slightly, perhaps to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. And one more. So we're doing 3. Thread the needle rotations, that's it. And then both hands back on the mat to change sides. So for me, I'm extending my left arm out to the side, bending the elbow, threading the arm through the right, aiming my left shoulder to the mat, drawing it back out, then thinking, lifting the chest and rotating around ever so slightly, coming back to parallel, and then back under. Just breathing however is comfortable. Although I do find breathing out as I thread through makes a little bit more room in the tummy area to allow that rotation to happen, and then breathing in as I'm looking away, and that final rotation. And when you've finished, hands back on the mat, final stretchy set of cats. So remember, starting with a flat back, thinking about tucking the tailbone under, just how we did in the pelvic tilts to start class, which seemed 5 seconds ago, walking through the back, allowing the head to hang between the arms as the last thing. Breath in at that point, breathing out, keeping the head where it is, unpeel from the pelvis. Imagine someone's walking their fingers up your spine until they get to just between the shoulder blades to lift your head back up. And again, breathing out, tucking the tailbone under, curling the pubic bone towards the chest, walking the spine up into a nice little arch and stretch. Breath in at that high point. Breathing out, unpeel from the pelvis. Uncurl. And let's do 2 from the head first. So dropping the head between the arms, almost pressing into the shoulders as you're lifting them up to the ceiling. And finally, tucking the tailbone under. Breath in at that high point. Breathing out, soften through the shoulders, lifting the head. Keeping the tailbone tucked until the last moment it unpeels. And then one more like this. So dropping the head first. Lifting the shoulders, curling the back. Tailbone tucks under. Breath in here, real stretch. And then soften the shoulders to lift and release the head and neck. Straightening the back. And then sit back again onto your heels. You can take your knees a little bit wider. Do a few little wrist rotations. That's quite a hefty way to end. And then reverse the rotation. And then you're done again. Oh, I thought you worked really well today. Well, you always do.